On October 29, 2023, the Republic of Turkey celebrated 100 years since its founding, a milestone marking the birth of a modern nation from the ashes of one of history's greatest empires. For over 6 centuries, the Ottoman Empire ruled across the Middle East, North Africa, and Eastern Europe, evolving from a small Anatolian principality into a global powerhouse. This is the story of how the Ottomans rose to dominate 3 continents, how their empire slowly unraveled, and how their fall paved the way for modern Turkey. Origins: from steppe nomads to empire builders. The Turkic migrations. The Ottoman story begins centuries before the empire's founding. The Turkic peoples originated in northeastern Asia, migrating westward across the Eurasian steppe. By the 7th century, many had settled near the Altai Mountains on the borders of modern Russia, Kazakhstan, and Mongolia. Over time, they moved further south and west, establishing semi-nomadic societies around the Caspian and Aral Seas. One group, the Oghuz Turks, produced a leader named Seljuk in the late 10th century. Seljuk and his descendants created the Seljuk Empire, expanding into Persia, adopting Islam, and embracing Persian culture. By the 11th century, the Seljuks were clashing with the Byzantine Empire. Their victory at the Battle of Manzikert, 1071, opened Anatolia, modern Turkey, to Turkic settlement, fragmentation, and the rise of Osman. Over time, the Seljuk Empire fragmented into smaller states. By the 14th century, Anatolia was divided into competing beyliks, principalities. Among them, in the northwest near Byzantine territory, a warlord named Osman I founded what became the Ottoman dynasty. His name, rendered as Osmanlı in Turkish, gave the empire its name, the Ottoman Empire. The birth of the Ottoman state, early expansion in Anatolia and the Balkans. After Osman's death, his successors pushed into Byzantine lands. The Ottomans captured Nicaea, Iznik, in 1331, and Adrianople, Edirne, in 1369, making it their capital. From there, they advanced into the Balkans, conquering parts of Serbia and Bulgaria while threatening Constantinople, the Byzantine capital. The fall of Constantinople. The defining moment came under Mehmed II, Mehmed the Conqueror. Determined to end Byzantine rule, he laid siege to Constantinople in April 1453. After 7 weeks, Ottoman forces breached the city's massive walls on May 29, 1453. The last Byzantine emperor, Constantine XI, died defending his city. Constantinople was renamed Istanbul and became the Ottoman capital. The iconic Hagia Sophia was converted into a mosque, symbolizing the empire's triumph. This victory established the Ottomans as a dominant power in both Europe and the Islamic world. Expansion across 3 continents. Conquests under Mehmed II and Bayezid II. After taking Constantinople, Mehmed II expanded into Greece, Trebizond, Bosnia, and the Crimean Peninsula. His successor, Bayezid II, strengthened Ottoman naval power, fought the Venetians for control of the Aegean Sea, and extended influence into Syria. Selim I in the Arab world. Bayezid's son, Selim I, 1512 to 1520, transformed the Ottomans into an Islamic superpower. He defeated the Mamluks, annexing Syria, Egypt, and the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. North African leaders, including Hayreddin Barbarossa of Algeria, became Ottoman vassals, making the empire the preeminent Muslim power. Suleiman the Magnificent. The empire reached its height under Suleiman the Magnificent, 1520 to 1566. He expanded Ottoman territory deep into Central Europe, conquered Hungary, and besieged Vienna in 1529. In the Mediterranean, he captured Rhodes, 1522, and Tripoli, 1551. In the east, he extended Ottoman control over Iraq and the Arabian Peninsula. Suleiman was not only a conqueror, but also a reformer. He modernized laws, patronized arts and architecture, and turned Istanbul into one of the great cities of the world. Military power and social structure. The Janissaries. The Ottoman army was one of the most advanced of its time. At its core was the Janissary Corps, elite soldiers recruited through the Devshirme system, where Christian boys were taken, converted to Islam, and trained as professional troops. Combined with powerful artillery and cavalry, the Ottomans maintained military dominance for centuries. Tolerance and diversity. Unlike many empires, the Ottomans governed a multi-ethnic, multi-religious realm. Christians and Jews lived under the millet system, managing their own religious and legal affairs. While conversion to Islam offered social mobility, it was not forced. This tolerance attracted persecuted groups, such as Jews expelled from Spain in 1492. Economic and cultural flourishing. Controlling the crossroads of Asia and Europe, the empire thrived on trade. Spices, silk, and other goods flowed through cities like Istanbul, Damascus, and Alexandria. Ottoman culture blended Islamic, Persian, Arab, and Byzantine traditions, producing grand mosques, palaces, and vibrant art. Challenges in Europe and the Mediterranean. Rivalry with Spain and naval defeats. By the mid-16th century, the Ottomans faced Spain, the dominant Catholic power. A dramatic clash came with the Great Siege of Malta, 1565, where Ottoman forces failed to take the island from the Knights of St. John. Later in the Battle of Lepanto, 1571, a Spanish-led Christian fleet decisively defeated the Ottoman navy. Though these defeats checked Ottoman naval expansion, the empire remained a land powerhouse. The Second Siege of Vienna. Ottoman ambitions in Europe peaked with attempts to capture Vienna. The first siege in 1529 failed. Another in 1683, led by Grand Vizier Kara Mustafa Pasha, ended disastrously when a Christian coalition led by Polish King John III Sobieski launched the largest cavalry charge in history to break the siege. The defeat at Vienna marked the end of Ottoman expansion in Europe and the beginning of slow retreat. Stagnation and decline, weak sultans and decentralization. From the 18th century, the empire began to stagnate. Earlier warrior sultans gave way to rulers more focused on palace life than governance. Real power shifted to grand viziers and provincial governors, weakening central control. Falling behind Europe surged ahead with the scientific and industrial revolutions, while the Ottomans struggled to modernize. Global trade routes shifted to the Atlantic Ocean, bypassing Ottoman lands and draining wealth. Military defeats against Russia and Austria cost the empire territory in the Black Sea, Caucasus, and Balkans. Rise of nationalism. The 19th century brought nationalist revolts. Serbia rose in 1804. The Greek War of Independence, 1821 to 1829, created an independent Greece with European support. France seized Algeria, 1830, while Egypt gained autonomy. By mid-century, the empire was known as the sick man of Europe, kept alive by European powers wary of destabilizing the balance of power. Reform and the Young Turks. Tanzimat reforms. Facing decline, Ottoman leaders launched the Tanzimat reforms, 1839 to 1876, to modernize the army, bureaucracy, and legal system. While they achieved some progress, reforms failed to halt territorial losses or internal unrest. The Young Turk Revolution. By the early 1900s, reformers called the Young Turks sought a constitutional monarchy and Turkish nationalism. Their 1908 revolution restored parliament and a constitution, but political divisions between liberals, conservatives, and the military undermined stability. World War I and the empire's collapse. When World War I erupted in 1914, the Ottomans sided with Germany and Austria-Hungary, hoping to reclaim lost prestige. They won a major victory against Allied forces at Gallipoli, but elsewhere suffered defeats. In the Arab Revolt, 1916 to 1918, Arab forces aided by Britain and T. Lawrence captured much of the Middle East. A tragic chapter unfolded with the Armenian Genocide, 1915 to 1916, where 1.5 million Armenians were killed or displaced. Occupation and partition. By 1918, the Ottoman war effort collapsed. Allied forces occupied Istanbul, and Britain and France divided the Middle Eastern provinces into colonial mandates. Greece and Italy sought parts of Anatolia, while the Ottoman government was powerless to resist. The Turkish War of Independence. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk's leadership. Amid foreign occupation, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, a former Ottoman general, led the Turkish nationalist movement. Beginning in 1919, his forces fought Greek, French, and Italian troops in the Turkish War of Independence. Despite early setbacks, Ataturk's army pushed invaders out by 1922. Abolition of the Sultanate. In October 1922, the Sultanate was abolished. The following year, the Treaty of Lausanne, 1923, recognized the Republic of Turkey with Ankara as its capital. After more than 600 years, the Ottoman Empire officially ended. Legacy of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire left a profound imprint on the Middle East, Balkans, and North Africa. Its legal systems, architecture, and cultural practices shaped modern nations. Istanbul remains a cultural and historical bridge between East and West. The empire's decline reshaped global politics, inspiring nationalist movements and redrawing borders. Its final century offers lessons on modernization, adaptability, and global power shifts. If you enjoyed exploring the story of the Ottoman Empire's rise and fall, there's much more history waiting to be uncovered. Like this video, subscribe, and share to support more deep dives into the past. And if you'd love to learn about another great empire or turning point in history, leave your suggestion in the comments below. See you next time.